go. And everybody, here we are. Game 2, Slam versus Nicov here. Nikov's home map after losing the first game. Civs are going to be hidden pick, which means that each player chose their civilization without knowing what their opponent would choose, and they only found out once they got into the lobby, which meant there was no counter picking, and they did it completely blind. Map, as I say, Arabia. We've got Nicov, who made the selection of this map. He is down to the south here in the red. He has taken the Indians again. And Slam up to the northeast in the blue, taking the Huns.
Okay. Well, Indians, like, I wasn't expecting that at all. I mean, I just thought maybe, but no, we get Indians, and instantly finds a deer. That's quite nice for him. But so yeah, Huns expected. Indians again, nice. This is what I was thinking earlier on when the first game came around. I was like, okay, Indians wouldn't be a bad pick because if you get Huns, camels would be really nice. They're going to go for that sort of knight's route from the Huns sort of thing. And they're not that bad, I guess, in general. Again, as you said, we saw from that last game how effective Indians can be in that late game. It just didn't work out so well against BacT. But that's a different set of circumstances. But I'm really looking forward to this game, though. A new matchup. It's something I haven't seen before, personally. Indians versus Huns. I'm really curious how it will pan out. But yeah, let's just crack down these maps then for Nicov. So go ahead.
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, I was just going to say real briefly about the Indians here. When we said we said before that, you know, the Huns are probably easier for the Indians to deal with than the Mayans. And I think that's certainly true. We've said, you know, the Indians are a great counter civ. They throw a lot of counters out. I'm interested to see how potentially the camels could do versus the cavalry archers from Slam. Bear in mind that the cavalry archers have been increased in price for the Huns. I believe it's only a small difference in the expansions, but they're a little bit more costly. Basically, cavalry archers are cheaper for every civilization, and the Huns have had their bonus nerfed. I think it's a couple of gold extra for the Huns now. But yeah, talking about the map, Nikov's sheep kind of behind this wood line here. He is actually going to find them, thankfully. And he's got a pretty interesting gold back here. Should be fairly easy to defend, but it's not going to be very efficient and could be kind of annoying. However, his map doesn't look too bad because although it's very open on the left side, the right side looks fairly wallable, and that's the side that's facing Slam. So he can wall that up fairly comfortably, I believe, and with that done, he should be able to defend on the left side using this hill with some skirmishers perhaps, or yeah, whatever. Another thing we see the Indians doing quite a lot is scouts quite quickly. They can do quite fast scout rush. I think the Huns are still going to be a better scout rush civ, but looking at Slam's map, this is incredibly open on the front. And I think, you know, if he wants to wall off this map, his walls are going to be closer to Nikov's TC than his own TC, almost. So, yeah, we'll see how Slam decides to play this. But fortunately, you know, a really nice back gold here, close to his wood line. So it's just one area that he has to concern himself about defending. And also the berries at the back as well, quite close to the TC. Let's see. I mean, Slam's got 4 vills on wood. As the Huns, we could see a drush coming in from him here.
Yeah, could do. Slam, though, typically, from whenever I see him play, he does like to do 4 on wood, but still go for scouts. So I wouldn't rule it out. Maybe he will. I could be completely wrong, but I do sometimes see him go for 4 on wood scouts more often than not, in comparison to other players. What's interesting on his map, though, yeah, the gold's great to be in the back with the wood, keep that in sort of safe in one area, but that's his only wood line to really talk about. The other one is the front, and that's awful. I don't even want to talk about that. That is just a pond. One's to the far right, but that's a bit sketchy. And then where's the others? I mean, that's the thing. It's a real problem because it will get to a point in the game where he's going to think about expanding out because he has to, rather than not wanting to. It's more like, oh crap, I need some more wood. So it could be a real problem in the later game for him. So he has to establish that map control. But, you know, as it is, Huns, very effective at doing so, at establishing map control. So I expect that to be the case.
Absolutely. And I think, well, the wood is just atrocious. I mean, if he even wants to, you know, normally you want to split your wood, build a second lumber camp. Where would he build it even, you know. I think Slam's got to play quite an aggressive game here, and you know the Huns are certainly a very good civ to do that. Interestingly, sending 2 Vils out to gold right now, and so 4 Vils on wood into scouts. We'll see, but 2 Vils going out to gold at the moment, and Slam, I think, gonna have to get aggressive, I feel, and gonna have to shut Nicov down.
Yeah, Nicov up 19 pop, click up time, and Slam just clicked up now on 22 pop.
Whoa.
Hello.
I didn't even look at Nicov because we were looking at Slam's map for so long. Nikov's got up super fast here and doing a wall off on the right-hand side as well. This is this is nice. This is going to be really quick. But Nikov's like, 11. Did he make a mistake? Did he not realize something? What's the O about?
I have no idea. I don't know what he's O'ing about, but it'd probably be something. Maybe it is. But it's like, do I actually have enough here? Do I have enough? Oh, but there's the scout there poking at
nice.
Nicov.
Slam, this is so nice for Slam. He's going to delay this wall enough time for his militia to come in. And this is very nice for him. He's going to get a lot of damage onto that Vil, force a quick wall off from Nicov. He's walled his villager out. He's walled him out. He's left him for dead. And Slam's going to come in with the militia now as well. Uh-oh, Nicov not so good at all. As his stable comes up, he starts queuing the first scout, but it's going to be a while before that's up. And yeah, he's managed to wall up now, taking a bit of disruption to his eco. And should be fine for the time being, as these militia are going to have to come around quite close to the TC if they want to break into that wood line. But map control now going to be looking decent for Slam, and the first scout is out for Nicov.
Yes, so the first scout is out. This is actually well played by Nicov, the quick wall in there, because he really needs to sustain the scout production and TC production at the same time. Look how many villages he's got right now on those sheep. It's like, God, I need to get that food to come rapid. So, unfortunately, he'll be able to get the scouts out. He should hopefully try and deal with this Drush, but it will soon be man-at-arms. And there we go, man-at-arms are in. So,
oh, yeah, exactly. And this is why I think that, you know, when I said before, a Drush could be good for Slam, because just his map is so crap. If he can just get forward and pressure Nicov, like, that's going to be the ideal situation for him. He's dropping a tower on the wood line on this right-hand side. And the man-at-arms now are in this fight. He's going to cling to this hill to try and get the attack bonus as well when engaging these scouts. And he can come out on top if he does that. Nicov going in with the Vils. One of those Vils on half health, though, as well. And he'll get the hill advantage with the scouts. So this should go pretty well for Nicov, as he does start to clean this up here. And Slam's going to have to get out, walling in his villager, of course, to make sure he gets that tower up. But, whoa, Nikov's... The Slam's staying in. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Slam's staying in.
Yeah, it was a decent fight there from Nicov. The spearman initially took out that scout there from Slam, which was really important. And then, of course, the response there from Slam was to get a couple of his own spearmen out. So kind of an evenish trade, but the tower went up, though, for Slam. But equally, Nicov got his own one up. But I think it should go down for Slam.
Yeah.
And I can't see it being challenged because, spearmen aren't going to do anything.
He's only got one villager here as well. So, I mean, even if he comes out to do some repairs in the villager, like, he's going to lose it. So, you know, in this case, yeah, it's a failed forward from Slam here. And Nicov now building an archery range here, getting his economy back up in form. And will basically push that away, allow him to re-wall it on the right-hand side, give him some peace of mind. And Slam now having to go back. Slam, though, transitioning into double archery range, and that's pretty typical. Archers coming out for him now as well. With that safe gold at the back, certainly not too bad. And looks like Slam will complete a wall off on this right side as well. But he's still so open on the left. There's still a really clear, easy route for Nicov to get across the map and get to Slam's side. Yeah,
he's still very much exposed. So, yeah, he's got to get those archers out, which he will do. I think he's just going to keep trying and keep pressing on, just keep being aggressive on towards Nicov. Try and contain Nicov in his base as much as possible to keep himself safe. You know, best form of defense is through attack. So, there you go. That villager goes back to walling what he was meant to be doing, so building that tower. And yeah, it's looking okay though for Slam. I think he'll be fairly happy. Yeah, the tower went down, not ideal, because now he's out of the stone for it as a big loss in that department. But overall, it could have got a lot worse, I think. it could have been completely shut down, like in terms of losing everything, including his man-at-arms, not getting anything out of trade. So,
okay,
so far, I think he's okay.
So what's quite interesting here is Nicov comes in with his scout, sees the gold, and he sees this many vills on gold. And he doesn't even need to scout the ranges now. He knows what's coming his way. He knows it's going to be double archers. And Nicov, I think, is going to do very similar to what we saw TaToH do with the Indians last time. You know, wall up, make a small choke point, and defend with skirms from one range. Taking advantage of the fact that you've got the cheaper vills right now. You could probably outboom your opponent quite easily. And those skirms are going to be easy and simple for him to defend with. So, I mean, that's kind of what I'm anticipating from Nicov here. Maybe he'll add a second range if he feels the pressure's going to ramp up too much. But if you're in Nikov's position, I think going to the Castle Age quicker and then being able to do a lot of raiding damage from the Castle Age, probably the way to go. Instead of trying to do it in the Feudal Age here. And he can defend very easily. As I said before, he can sit on this hill. It looks like he might even do that and defend this left flank. And meanwhile, we've got Slam adding in a stable right now. So Slam is like all in almost into this here. He's like, okay, right, I'm going to just add a stable and let's just go ham on the military production right now.
Yeah, he wants to deal with those skirmishes. That's for sure. Gets the scout out. That's great for that department. So it looks like he's going to go definitely fairly aggressive. But here's the thing, though. How's he actually going to achieve this, though? Because, okay, the right-hand side's been walled. Big punch through that wall. There's a tower there already, so that's quite beneficial there for Nicov. But he can't go through the front. He's just got bloodline scouts. And even then, I think that's a bit of a risky play because I imagine Nicov can defend that pretty easily. So it depends on how many scouts he makes. If Nikov's just making a couple of scouts to deal with the skirmishes, I think that's okay. If he's going to go heavy into it, then I'm concerned. But I don't think so. I don't think he's going to go heavy into it. I think he's just going to go like a safety, just 2-3 scouts. But that's going to put him way behind, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, right now, Nikov's doing wheelbarrow, and he's got 16 farmers. Slam is on 13 farmers at the moment. And, I mean, we've already said about how bad this wood line is. It's going to be really annoying to him, to say the least. He's also on the stones, so I think he's going to maybe build some defensive towers here in case any counterattacks come in. Or actually, he's going to come forward and build more towers because he's sending 4 vills out. So Slam right now, he is like all in, sending his whole army forward, sending 4 vills to support it. And we're going to see a tower coming up as well. Nicov, on the other hand, adding in a second stable right now, and he's going to go up to the Castle Age as predicted. Can he defend from this, though? Is he going to anticipate this much from Slam?
I think he'll catch him up a little bit, but I wouldn't be overly concerned when it hits him. Because, okay, he's going to lose a few farmers on the front. He's still got some space at the back to build more if he needs to. He's just got to hold out for another minute and a half or 2 minutes. And then he should be okay because he's got the 2 stables up. Just bang out a couple of those little cheeky camels. God, get out those camels. It should be okay. If he gets to +2, it should be enough, I think, against basic archers with a few skirmishes lined up. I actually don't know.
I'm not too sure, though. I mean, look at this tower, for example. I mean, Nicov has no answer to that tower. It's going to deny a bunch of his farms. It's going to give Slam a way to sort of push in, maybe come around the south side and hit the gold. And right now, I mean, what's Nikov's defense? He's got 5 skirmishers and a couple of stables. But, oh my goodness, Slam taking so much damage from the TC.
What are you doing? My God, man.
Oh, that hurts. That really hurts. He's going to make it through, but he took a lot of damage right there, didn't he?
Yeah, he stopped to fight the scout, like, a little bit. And I was like, well, okay, that's a bit weird. Very weird, in fact. Because now, yeah, okay, you're on the hill. You've got him off the gold. But skirmishes will start to come out from Nicov. He'll just deal with the problem then, just a couple more. It should be just fine. And they're not going to be that much of a problem, especially if he goes down the hill. Like, don't do that, Slam.
Stay on the hill. At least he's denying the gold for now. There is 290 gold for Nicov, so he can get a few camels out when he hits the Castle Age. And they're going to start with +1 defense as well. But I mean, it would be really nice if he had knights right now. That's for sure. I'm sure he would very much like to have some knights, but sadly not. Indians not having them. But 2 camels coming out, and right now he's going to defend with the skirms. Wait for those camels and try and clean things things up with those guys. Siege Workshop as well on the left side here, because he's got to deal with these towers, which are now surrounding his base.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first 2 camels coming out now. This should be the time for him to push up the hill, maybe. Okay, he sends the skirmishers, but the camels don't follow.
Whoa. He's going to deny the tower on the left side first.
Oh,
that's a quick wall from Slam, but no. Yeah, that's actually pretty smart to deny this tower at least. Or he can't deny it. It's going to go up.
He can't.
It's going to go up. Camels just don't do enough damage. I thought maybe you'd get that, but he will get 1 villager. The rest are going to jump in, and then those camels are going to have to go somewhere else. But so far, I mean, Slam making the best of a pretty bad situation with his map, and still hanging around, denying the gold, being a nuisance. But it looks like he's going to get cleaned up now, that's for sure, as Nicov attacks uphill, but doesn't even care, because the camels are now there, and the archers are going to die.
Finally! Just finally! That's really well played by Slam, because that's just bought him so much time. He's on the way to Castle Age now, 35% on the way up. He's been so annoying with these 3 towers, done a lot of effective damage on the farms, especially with that camel production. Mangonel's now out, though, to try and take care of the tower. I don't know. I think a ram maybe a little bit better.
I think the biggest problem for the Indians right now is there's no like if you're Nicov right now, you want some knights, right? You want to send a few knights into Slam's eco, and that would just be devastating. But what's he got? He's got some skirms and some camels, and it just doesn't work when you want to go and counter-attack. So sure, he's defended. That's great. He's in a decent position even still, but yeah, right now Slam has still got a lot of archers, and he is now very close to the Castle Age as well. And I think this is going to be one of those strats where Slam's just like all in all game, because he's got 2 stables up as well, and still taking a lot of stone. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a castle. I wouldn't be surprised if we see crossbow and then knights as well coming out together. And he's just got so many units that he can deal with this from Nicov so easily out here.
He's going to go for the full Monty. Absolutely. It's really difficult for the Indians, as you said. And the other thing as well is the fact that, of course, the Indians have that great economy, but they need to capitalize on that by having extra TCs and so on. But look at Nikov's base. Like, where could he put another TC down? Like, one in the very far corner? Like, that would have been awful, like by that wood line. Like, you could have wanted to see how the Siege Workshop was, but that's there, so that's a bit annoying. And he can't anyway, because he hasn't got the stone for it, I don't think. So, at this point. So, that's a real big hindrance to him. So that's nice from Slam again, for just realizing again how the weaknesses and strengths of the Indians when he's playing against them by just basically kneecapping them a little bit here. And now he's going to be on it. You know, as you said, crossbows, knights, cav archers, he's going to go for it. Maybe, maybe not. Oh,
are we going to see Slam drop one of those ballsy castles again, like, and just put it like on the front of Nikov's base for the 2nd game in a row? I think he might even consider it. Nikov's getting a TC on the left side on that stone, but I mean, Slam could probably deny that right now. He's got to be careful of these mangonels, of course, but he's looping around. And if he can just get in and poke at those villas, but no, the mangonels are going to be there. Of course, he's got the knights, and the knights' job here obviously focus down those mangonels. But yeah, right now, Slam going to be a nuisance, and looks like he's going to delay that TC a little bit at least.
Yeah, he'll pick off 1 villager. The TC will go up, but very slowly, I will add that. More camels being pumped in, though. It's a nice response there to the knights. This is a really interesting fight because you got the combination from both. It's going to come down to how well you can micro the situation. I think I kind of back Nicov here a little bit because I think his mangonel micro is really on point.
Yes, absolutely. He's hit some really nice mangonel shots, actually. We've got bloodlines and +1 for Slam on the knights. That's enough to get in there and start taking down these mangonels. But big mangonel shot. Really nice. And okay, he will get both mangonels, but that's crippled the crossbows of Slam. And Slam's ability to fight this army really relies on having a good number of crossbows out here, since they do deal with the camels quite well. But yeah, Nicov able to push this away. And it always amazes me, or I always enjoy seeing how just a couple of good mangonel shots can really turn a fight around and turn the game. Nicov there, taking the score lead after that fight, gets his TC up successfully and repels Slam. And now Slam's lost his army there. Nah, we're not going to see a forward castle. It's going to be 2 TCs coming up at home, and he's got to start focusing on his eco a little bit now.
Yeah, it's a good response from Slam, just because he's realized that that's just not going to work out anymore. And now it's got to the point where the Indians can definitely just start to take back control of what they can. Well, Nicov in particular, in his part of the map, so you can get another TC up and running. Next to that goal, potentially, he's got those 3 bills moving over towards it. I haven't got his point of view.
It's going to be on the gold, yeah. And I mean, that's really exposed, really open, but I mean, where else is he going to build it anyway? So I feel like Nicov right now, the Indians are just, as I said before, they're a great counter civ. I mean, they can just hold in these kind of really crazy defensive positions. And now we've got cavalry archers coming in for Slam. And I'm interested to see how they're going to do. If Nicov does upgrade his camels even further, then I think they might even do pretty well in small numbers. But you know what it's like. Once the Huns manage to mass up enough cavalry archers, it's just a big death ball traveling around the map. But yeah, I think right now, Slam definitely making the best of a pretty bad situation with his map, and it still feels like he's got decent map control for the time being.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, that's for sure. Monk pick up that relic. The +2 armor has just kicked in just now for Nicov there on his camels. So
total of +3.
+3.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Lovely.
But yeah, that death ball, man. That death ball is a real concern still. I think he's in a decent position though, nonetheless. I do even like that cheeky little monk as well. Just going to heal those camels up. And if any more knights come in to try and deal with the mangonel, then that can try and get a conversion off. So, yep, good response there from Nicov. Let's see if he can try and get this Castle Age period through. I think he's just thinking to himself, if I can get past the Castle Age, I've got a really good chance in the Imperial Age. That's probably what he's thinking, and I would think the same too.
Absolutely. Right now, we've got about 16 military for Slam, whilst Nicov is on about 14. And Slam has got quite a villager lead at this stage then, since he is ahead in population. So I think that it's actually looking pretty close in terms of like how their economies are. But then you remember, okay, well, the Indians have villagers which only cost 40 food right now, and they're saving, 30 food every 25 seconds. That is really going to add up and work in Nikov's favor. And now Nikov's kind of defended from that really early aggression, gives him some time. And I don't know, I think Nikov's actually in a pretty decent position right now.
What was just converted? Something was just... Oh, that skirmisher got converted.
Why not, man? Yeah, exactly.
Is that a forward monastery? What?
Yeah, I think you wanted the relic, which Nicov collected earlier on.
What?
Again, why not?
Okay, right, whatever. Well, I'm just going to skip past this point. Now, Slam could try and make pikemen here, because all we're seeing is just camels and mangonels. No other arch units just yet. I mean, of course, Nicov could try and produce some, but he's only got one range, so production will be slow. And he hasn't even got the crossbow upgrade yet, which would be important. So this could be a nice, sneaky move here from Slam to make that second Rax, maybe make a third Rax, and just pump some pikemen out and just go even more aggressive. Because that could try and turn it around, I think.
Yeah, I mean, potentially. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that... Obviously, it's hard to say, because Nicov, he's a counter-civ. He'd obviously have to react to that. But Pike's not great at raiding. And then again, I don't know. He's got the cavalry archers out here as well, so he can come in and start poking around with those guys. I think he's scared of those camels, though, and they're in about equal numbers, so he should be. But just look at the resources real quick. I mean, look at Nikov's resources right now. 700 food, 900 gold. Slam, 300 food, 300 gold. And Nikov's way ahead in economy right here at this point. But we've got the forward castle from Slam, and Slam now just spamming the cavalry archers forward, but I don't think he can take a good fight with those guys.
Yep. I don't think so. Also, the husbandry, I think, is kicked in for the Nicov. It has to be, because they're able to chase down those cavalry archers really well. Two things of note: A, pikemen, been researched, and B, a castle Slam.
Nicov, what? He just sandwiched the cavalry archers, but he ran straight through them. That could have been a huge opportunity there to do a little bit more damage, but just it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. Meanwhile, Slam's still keeping the aggression up here, actually. It seems like he's pretty committed to this. He's still sending a lot of units forward, trying to claim this hill, I think, from Nicov. Meanwhile, grouping his cavalry archers around these trees and the oasis to damage the camels. He's got a university up. I think he's got ballistics as well, by the looks of things. And Slam here looks like he's going all in the Castle Age this time, and even as you predicted, with the pikes as well. Nicov, though, is on the way up to the Imperial Age. Can he hold out? That is the question right here, as he builds a castle on the left side of his economy.
Yeah, but see how it all pans out. Oh, then on the stone. I'm surprised about the castle position from Slam. I guess he's wasn't feeling so confident. I would have probably maybe waited a couple more minutes and then until like right now, then I would drop the castle where those villagers are on that hill. Would have been perfect. But anyway, Nicov will be up soon, so this is really key for Slam. He's got to get the damage done. I would say in the next couple of minutes. Otherwise, well, not even that. I think the next minute and a half. Otherwise, he's pretty much in trouble. That's for sure. He's not far from clicking up though. 600 food, 600 gold.
I mean, when I looked at this castle, I almost expected to see Tarkans coming out from Slam.
So did I.
I mean, I was like, he's just going all in. No, he will be up to Imp actually fairly soon as well. Obviously, you know, he's not neglected his eco by any means. He's still kept, seeding up farms, and he's going to click up right now. So certainly very reasonable from Slam as well. Nicov here, just about to come into contact with that castle, I think. Looking at his fog of war, he's got no idea it's there yet. But yeah, Nicov will be Imp first, and with the archery ranges coming up, at least skirmisher coming in. Do you think we're going to see chemistry here? At the moment, he's not got that much gold in the bank. And with that castle coming up on the hill from Slam, I think Nicov needs to get a Treb out pretty quickly. But he's actually doing Sultans at the moment to increase his gold income. And at the university, he doesn't even have a university, so it can't possibly be gunpowder this time around. What is he upgrading then? He's doing plate barding armor for his camels, but he just can't afford anything else right now. There's the Treb. That's what we needed. We needed that Treb.
I don't see the heavy camel option like done yet, or even any research for it, which is a bit weird because you're getting the +4 armor on it, so you should be thinking about it. Maybe he's got the resources. Yeah, he's probably looking a bit lacking, but yeah. But this is well played by Slam. Castle on the top of the hill, adding to the pressure. These camels here from Nicov trying to raid, but I don't know. I think they're trying to raid. I don't even know. Quite frankly, they've just been going around in circles. But
yeah.
They can't really get much done, so I'd have to come back and try and defend or try and do some raiding. I don't even know.
Well, he doesn't know about the eco in the north, so he's left that untouched for now. And meanwhile, Slam really, pushing in quite well here. The castle here being on the hill is such a huge deal for him as well. He's going to be able to keep it alive so much easier and long enough for him to get to the Imperial Age himself and get his own Trebs out. So that is really important for him in this fight. Still producing pikes as well. And yeah, I mean, right now I'm trying to see what techs Nikov's doing. Bodkin arrow coming in. He's doing a little bit of everything. Heavy camel, there you go, on 75%, but it's such a slow research. Meanwhile, you've got 2 mangonels killing the stable, and I don't know if this is actually going to finish. It's not going to finish. The stable's going to go down, surely. Heavy camels denied right there. Oh, wow.
That's got to hurt. I know. Has he realized yet?
Yeah, he has.
It's one of those sort of things where
he's moved it into the back, but it's so slow. Wow. Slam with a stroke of luck. No idea, of course. But Nikov's just got to stall for time now. He's stalling, he's stalling, he's stalling. And even then, I don't know if these heavy camels are going to be strong enough. Sure, they've got great armor compared to a normal camel, but it's so dicey for Nicov right now as Slam is just piling on the pressure. And we saw how it got to Nicov in the last game as well. We saw how, that forward castle from Slam just stayed alive for just what seemed like, an endless amount of time. And in this, if he can do it again, then Slam might have the keys to this game right here. But
he could do. But there is 3 Trebs that are out right now for Nicov. This is
4.
This is really nice this time. Oh, is there a 4th?
Yeah.
I see.
It's 4 in total.
I see it. Oh yeah, I see it just now. Yeah.
So the castle taking a beating, that's for sure. And right, okay, Nikov's about to finish heavy camel, 93%. And what does he do next? Does he push up the hill into this castle? Surely he's got to let the castle go down first. Because I don't think he can just run up this hill into these pikes and into the castle here. There's no way. The castle has to go down. There's the castle down. And now maybe Nikov's going to push up? Or is he just going to wait for Slam to... It's difficult for him to take this fight. There's no easy way for him to take this fight.
No, there is no easy way. Just being up on the high ground, there's a lot of pikemen there, by the way. I wouldn't even be surprised if I see a small little research called halberdier coming in soon enough.
We got Sorry, we got Parthian tactics coming in and +2 defense on the cavalry archers as well. God. So Slam's going to be putting out quite a bit of damage out here as well, with the cavalry archers staying alive on this hill. And, you know, I said earlier on in this game about this hill. I said this hill is a really important part of the map, and we're definitely seeing why right now. Slam is able to, I mean, it's a real standoff. Neither player wants to go and engage. Nicov doesn't want to run up the hill because he's going to be fighting uphill then. And Slam doesn't want to run downhill because then he's not fighting downhill. And like, neither player really wants to take it. But Slam, with the hill advantage, of course, keeping his trebs alive. And there's only one treb from Nicov now. And I think that's absolutely pivotal here. Yeah. It's absolutely pivotal to keep those trebs going.
And that's all down thanks to the Huns having that 30% extra accuracy on those trebuchets, just able to take them out. This is a real problem here for Nicov, because if he doesn't deal with this threat, then his own castle's then under threat. So it's a real problem for him. He has to engage at some point.
There
Slam
it is.
Can sit here. There
Imperial Camel coming through, and this could be, well, this is the game deciding move, I feel, right here. If Nicov can get this hill back, he's in with a real chance. But there's so many pikemen in here. Sure, he can deal with the cavalry archers quite well, but I question whether or not that he's got enough. It looks like he's starting to overwhelm Slam. That Imperial Camel tech changing the course of the game now, as Nicov will reclaim his hill. He's like,
God damn.
Damn right, that's my hill, says Nicov, as the Imperial Camels come through. And even against the pikes there, they absolutely shredded that. I question how much the skirms in the back had to do with that, though. They were doing quite a bit. And now Nikov's going to castle that hill, secure the stone. Hell, why not build a mill and a bunch of farms behind it? And now he's in a really, really good position here, because Slam is still so open, and he's just lost like 90% of his army to that engagement.
Yeah, he's a real tough bother, that's for sure. Because how's he going to respond to his Imperial Age now? Like, what's the plan? Okay, he's finally got Halberdier. If he had Halberdier for that fight, he probably could have done a lot better there. And that's a real shame. And a couple
more upgrades as well, but...
oh my god, yeah.
In retrospect, yeah. But, okay, Nikov's coming in now. Imperial Camels from the back. If he can kill these 3 trebuchets as well, that's going to be expensive. And Slam here, it looks like they're going to go down. I don't see how he's going to defend that. Even with the castle here, the Imperial Camels are able to withstand enough fire. And that's a Wallalo GG from Slam, as he calls it. And Nikov's going to get the win right there.
That was so well played from Nicov from just so many perspectives. The main one is just that patience. He was okay. He lost the heavy camel upgrade to the stable. He still waited for that heavy camel. Then he waited for the Imperial camel, and he was just biding his time. And that was so well played. Because that was really sealed the game. Of course, just able to wait for that upgrade and just completely overwhelm Slam. Very unfortunate. I really like what he wanted to do there, but he just needed, I think he needed a couple more upgrades in those halbs, or to be halbs. And I think he needs to be up a little bit quicker, but that's just being very picky, to be honest. I still think he played really well. It's just unfortunate with the way it all turned out.
I just really feel like both players played a really good game right there, though. I mean, Slam, recognizing how bad his map was, took every opportunity to keep Nicov like boxed into the corner. The fact that he controlled this hill for so long as well. But then on the flip side, the fact that Nicov, like as you say, had that patience, the fact that he just sat at his castle and waited and waited and waited until he had those Imperial Camels, which takes a hell of a long time, with heavy camel and Imperial Camel taking so long to research. All of those things in combination allowed Nicov to then storm the hill and take it. And then with that, I mean, Slam's in no position to defend now. But it was well played by both. And Slam had a really bad map. He had a really tough game. And he made it look very... Well, it made it look like he had a really good chance. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think he really put in a great effort. That's for sure. He made the most of what he got from his map. And I liked how from the beginning of the game, from looking at Nikov's map and everything else in his own map, he had a game plan in mind. He knew what he wanted to do, or what his objective was anyway. Yeah, I think he nearly mostly achieved it. It just, unfortunately, at the very end, just couldn't pan out the way he wanted to do so. But again, with that sort of matchup in particular, I think it was just more of a timing situation. Once you get past that point, and the Indians' eco is good enough, which it was, then there's nothing much more than Slam could have really done after that point. And that's why he just, of course, why he GG'd.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the Indians are just a really good civ in this matchup anyway. I think they are a powerhouse in the Imperial Age. And I think they once the Indians get to the Imperial Age, you know, that's when you've got a real problem. And I think that's why Slam tried to do so much damage in the feudal and the feudal age and the castle age, you know, with the man-at-arms push, with the tower, with the castle age aggression that he did. Because I think he needed to try and end the game before the Indians got to their sort of, you know, death ball kind of camels, and you know, if he needed it, he could have gone into hand cannons, bombard cannons. They're super strong in the late game, but in the mid game, I mean, the thing that I've noticed with the Indians, it's like, let's just defend, let's hold out, and then when I get to Imp, that's when I push, that's when I make my play. And Nicov did just that, and that was really well played by both. But look at that KD in the end. Nicov there, nearly a 2-to-1 KD in his favor.
Oh man,
nicely done.
Yeah, I wonder the difference it was when I hit that big fight up in the hill up until that point. No, but no, I think you're absolutely spot on everything you just said there. Yeah, just I'm actually really intrigued by the Indians as Civ on the 1v1. I actually can't wait to see more of these like matchups on Arabia. Like if you're gonna pick Indians, I wonder if it's becoming like that stable Civ. Staple. Staple Civ. There. Thanks. Yeah, there we go. Staple Civ on a 1v1 matchup, because we're seeing now like against them. It didn't work out against the Mines, but I don't think. Anyway, I don't want to keep talking about the Mine game. I keep mentioning that game, but I'd be curious to see if it will become throughout this tournament a more of a picked Civ on this map or not. I don't know. I think, as you were right in saying, in terms of people trying to work out the meta still, like I think it will continue. But we might just see Indians get dropped off at the end of it because everyone's like, well, we know how to counter Indians or whatever. So
yeah, I mean, you might have the situation later on where you in the midpoint of the tournament, we might start seeing Indian wars on Arabia. You know, we might start seeing India wars, but then someone's going to think, well, if my opponent's going to pick India 99% of the time, let's actually just figure out a Civ that's going to work really well to counter them. A Civ that can be hyper aggressive in the early game, for example. I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, the Hunts could be that Civ, but even still, I think it's interesting that we've seen 2 games now where both